you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know, like that. Look, you know what's ill? Like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, that comes back. And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because because
of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why are they looking at me, bro? I just go to church. I just go to church, right? I have nothing to do with this. I have an alibi.
That's why the laws allow them to go that far back.
Turn away from you right now.
I'm just a Catholic kid.
He said you've been dead on
No.
What's the body of Christ taste like?
It's sacrilegious. You can't do that.
He's like, yo, drink my blood.
Yo.
So it is crazy when after 20 years they come out. That shit is foul.
But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades.
Yeah, because we had our own little thing.
But you were the only. Everybody else is scared.
Huh?
But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just asking.
I think that they're scared.
But if they're scared,
But
then maybe
you've
that's
been
why I'm thinking.
insinuating Jay-Z a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you've been saying people gonna come for him a little bit.
No,
I
thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist.
So he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me. It's now.
It's them. And then when M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
Let's go.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. You know.
That's what I'm
what's
talking
your
about,
and Jay's issue?
It's just competitive stuff.
It's really just competitive.
This is what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
Oh,
okay.
So
I
that's
can
the
see
behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music, but there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side, and it's not like you're gonna go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water.
Yo, this deal, and you go, he said that to you, like.
Okay.
Wow.
I get that.
Like they'll speak to your temperament. Like say, you know, if 50's a little crazy, he'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kanye.
So they're trying. He's basically trying to scare people out of doing deals with you. Interesting. And then M shut it down, and he was like, "Yo, it's got to happen."
If he's not coming, I'm not coming. And then it changes the whole thing because he really is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they can say what they want.
Yeah. No.
But when we go to the stats, the actual number.
The world of hip-hop entertainment and business has always been filled with drama, rivalry, and scandal. One of the latest bombshells to drop involves none other than Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and Diddy. This story erupted when 50 Cent, in his typical controversial style, exposed Jay-Z in his documentary about Diddy. Now, this isn't just another celebrity feud. No, this one's different. 50 Cent made some serious allegations about both Diddy and Jay-Z, claiming they were involved in illegal activities, including blackmail. Of course, Jay-Z didn't take this lightly, and the tension between these heavyweights in the hip-hop industry only escalated.
They know the numbers.
Yeah, he's the
and that was
biggest
before
one.
the days of the bots and all that shit.
Yeah. There's a, you know, M obviously speaks with you with high praise, but there's a few videos that I see, and everybody talks about how funny you are. They talk about, obviously, the album's all the success. But, like, Eminem specifically talks about your rapping skill a lot.
Yeah.
Does that mean a lot? I'm like...
It does. Like, you know, look, he never left that part of the creativity. Like, he would go back. When you don't see him, he's back. He's in his regimen of the studio.
Yeah.
And this is why, like, he kind of... They can't. You can be as good as him, but you can't really beat him at that. Because you have to put all your energy there,
and you're just not going to do it. Once these guys get famous, they leave the studio.
And they go. And the thing that makes him feel good is yo, you heard what I did last night, and it gives him that again. So if that's really what's driving you, it's really tough to be better than. And some of them may have a gift. It may be a God-given talent that they can rap the way we speak, but they don't work as hard as him. It's like Kobe Bryant is was outperforming people because he would work harder, conditioning himself to do it. And other than him, I don't think nobody's.
Who's the most talented rapper you've seen? Period. Just talent, natural born.
Maybe Craig G. Like when an artist can freestyle, like without thinking about anything, and it just all falls in line and sing. Sometimes they can end up rapping it's so easy for them that they don't know exactly what to rap about. You see what I'm saying?
Technically, it's good.
And even Eminem, because I remember those freestyles where they would just give him a word and he just has to
go.
Snoop can do that too. Snoop can go.
But you're right. Sometimes you miss like the connectivity with the music. Like there's songs, there's comedy where it might not even be like the most perfect joke, but it makes you feel the thing.
Yes,
and that's better to you.
That it connects. Like, and look, a lot of times, if there's no truth to it, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It has to have some sort of connection. It's grounded in truth, but it's almost a warped perspective being offered by the comedian. The timing, the way it comes in. And I look at it, I'm like, yo, nah, that's good.
Yeah,
it's great. Like, you know, and you see things like the white party be there, and then they have a little baby like in a sandwich. Like they're hugging him for the front and the back and stuff. And I'm like, yo, get off of him. That's one of my favorite new artists. Like, yo, get off him. I don't want him going to those
What's up with the hugging pictures at the white party, though? What is that?
I don't know, bro.
Every picture is a little
Why is everyone so happy to be there? I'm like, this regular parties, people don't just hug each other.
You had to sit in 4 hours of traffic to drive.
Like, come on, let's have a group hug. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, look, I'm going to shake your hand. Hey, what's up, man? Everything good? Yeah.
It does feel controlled. Yo, hold on, baby. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, it was too much fun.
That's crazy.
It was a little too much fun.
That's just white boy shit.
So what exactly did 50 Cent say that got Jay-Z all riled up? During an interview on Fox News' Outnumbered, 50 Cent went after both Diddy and Jay-Z, dropping some bombshell claims. He alleged that Diddy has been blackmailing celebrities for years, something that, if true, would send shockwaves through the entertainment world. But the real kicker came when 50 Cent claimed that Jay-Z was involved in Diddy's illegal enterprise. Yeah, you heard that right. According to 50 Cent, Jay-Z isn't just some innocent bystander. He's reportedly tangled up in Diddy's world of shady dealings. On top of that, 50 Cent went further, suggesting that even Beyonce, Jay-Z's wife, was connected to all of this, particularly in relation to a lawsuit Jay-Z has filed against him.
I want to bring in Myla Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a friend of Cassie's. In 2010, Myla alleges that she heard Cassie being physically abused and was a witness to the aftermath of the alleged attack. She joins me now. Myla, thank you so much for being here. This has been, for so many people, illuminating, infuriating, troubling, devastating. You can go down the list of things, but it's so difficult to speak about.
I know.
Being a witness of anything. Tell me how you must be feeling just knowing that this has even come to light.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010. And I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. So that's kind of like what transpired from that night. And once she came out of the room, she was badly, beaten.
Oh my God. What did her physical appearance look like?
I mean, it was knots on her head, black eye, busted lip, but a lot of knots all over her head.
Did she go to the police at that point or anything?
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, brought her to my house, and my friend, who is a doctor, I called her and thank God she was in town, because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that, because she's such a, a beautiful human being. And for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine, and I just felt, so I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe how she was feeling about having that happen? Did you get a sense that this was the first time?
It didn't feel like it, because it wasn't. It was almost like, I feel like she might have been embarrassed that happened in front of me.
Now, let's pause here for a moment. These are some heavy allegations. When you talk about blackmail, illegal enterprises, and involving the biggest names in hip-hop and entertainment, that's not something you can just brush off. Imagine the fallout if any of these claims were true. Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce have built empires not just in music, but in business, fashion, and even sports. Their reputations are everything, so being linked to something as damaging as blackmail could change everything.
The incident that you're talking about even predates what we saw in this horrific video from a hotel floor. When that video came out, what did it feel like knowing that had now been public?
No, I was devastated when I saw that video, because it was like I witnessed what could have happened in that room and more, So that was a hallway incident. Who knows what happened, in that room when I was outside of there. And I was devastated. Actually, I've been devastated since the court cases came out, and how, he mistreated Cassie.
He has settled the suit involving her specifically, but there are others, and there are sources that are telling CNN that the majority of the people currently suing Diddy are actually speaking to federal investigators, which indicates the Justice Department might be moving close to an indictment. So do you think that Cassie would testify against him if federal investigators asked her to or compelled her to?
I'm really not sure. Like I said, I can't speak for Cass, but I hope she does. I hope she does, because she's the only one that would know all the information that's gone on over the years. So,
Mila, why do you think? I mean, we've heard certainly, a lot of people in the industry condemn Diddy for what they saw on that video, but it hasn't been a universal outcry within the industry specifically. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a very small industry, and that we all know each other, and I feel like people are afraid to speak up about it. And the only reason why I am is because I'm a friend of Cass's, and I really care about her very much so. And I'm outraged and very, very heartbroken about how he's been treating her. It just it breaks my heart, and I just can't imagine a man treating a woman that way, and not just a woman, but a friend of mine that I've known since she was a teenager. So I've known Cassie before all of this. So it disgusts me.
I can only imagine, of all the women that you have worked with and people who are eager to be in the industry, what they are exposed to, how they could be exploited and abused in a variety of ways. And that's why the idea that not hearing so many more people speak up is very frustrating and hurtful for so many people.
It is frustrating and hurtful, even for me, because I watch, I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I just can't imagine why nobody's speaking up. I mean, everyone's just hush, hush, and quiet. I don't know, maybe they're scared. I mean, we've all been scared, so,
I hope this is a turning point, Mila Morales.
I think so.
I really hope it is. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I hope so. Thank you so much, Laura, for having me.
But here's the thing, while 50 Cent is known for his beefs and throwing shade, we need to approach these allegations with a healthy dose of skepticism. After all, 50 Cent has had his fair share of feuds, not just with Jay-Z, but also with Diddy. These are guys who've been at each other's throats for years. This isn't the first time 50 Cent has made explosive claims. He's made a career out of stirring the pot. So we should all be asking, what's the truth behind these allegations?
I wasn't in the ad
Right.
because of look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He was saying to Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50, right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they're Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself.
Now let's talk about Jay-Z's response. How did the man who's built a billion-dollar empire react to these serious accusations? Jay-Z isn't known for getting into public squabbles, especially when it comes to personal or legal matters. He's always been the businessman, the strategist, the mogul who lets his actions speak for themselves. But when 50 Cent went after him like this, it seems Jay-Z had no choice but to clap back.
All right, did you hear about this? Rapper and music mogul Jay-Z is now being accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs during an MTV VMA after party in the year 2000. The rapper issued a blistering statement in response and directed his comments at attorney Tony Busby, who filed the suit, saying, quote, "You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. I look forward to showing you just how different I am." Criminal defense attorney Lexi Rigdon joins me now. Lexi, good morning to you. What a development here. So another thing Jay-Z said in his statement is that this was a civil suit filed against him. And he said these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one, essentially saying, if I really did these things, treat me the way I should be treated. So how should we be thinking about all of this? What do you think?
Well, that's some denial from him. And, you know, sometimes celebrities have pretty muted denials, like, you know, I'm not going to comment now, or I direct all questions to my lawyers. I actually admire the strength of the denial. You know, I think that at this point, there's no objective indicia of reliability to this complaint. Now, obviously, things are going to play out and we're going to end up learning more. But if you look at it on its face, it's a 24-year-old complaint. Very significantly, he was not named in the lawsuit in the first instance when it was filed. The girl was allegedly 13 at the time it happened. And in the complaint, it says that she had been given something and she was, quote unquote, woozy. And so I think that this just needs to be looked at in kind of a measured way. Unlike the media is treating some people in the media, you know, Pete Hegseth being one of them, where they automatically hear an allegation and they run with it. I think that this needs to be treated in a measured type of way. We don't need knee-jerk societal reactions. Anybody can make allegations against somebody, and people who are rich and famous are particularly targets. And so obviously I don't know what happened, but I think it just needs to play out, and you know, we need to give him the benefit of the doubt at this point.
Well, that's what Tony Busby is saying. And so this federal lawsuit was originally filed in October. So interesting that we're only learning about this now. And then Tony Busby responded to Jay-Z's statement by writing this on X. "Since I sent the letter on her behalf," meaning the defendant, "Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. We will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not..."
Jay-Z's response wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, but it was powerful. The rapper turned business mogul hit back in his own way, with a level by 50 Cent.
Tonight, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, is pushing to get a judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's account.
We expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days. Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
This in the wake of our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and Sean Diddy Combs of raping her when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she might have some facts wrong, but that she says the incident happened. What do you say to that?
You know, anybody, when they make up a claim, they can just keep repeating it and getting it right. But you never get the details right. And what happened during her interview with you is that the story began to unravel.
On the night of the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, she says Combs' limo driver took her to an after party. There, she says she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. The woman revealed to us that she has autism and previously suffered a head injury. In a follow-up phone interview, we asked her about the contradictions, and she said that she stands by her statements.
This woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour drive, round trip to pick her up in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that. No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
Spiro said he's not only seeking justice for Jay-Z, he says that he also wants to expose the accuser's attorney, Tony Busby.
He takes away the voices from real victims and he causes real harm. If this lawyer has any sense, he's going to dismiss this claim. I don't know whether he has any sense.
Busby, who has filed more than 20 lawsuits against Combs, told NBC News that he is continuing to vet the accuser's claims and that she has agreed to undergo a polygraph this week. A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Since your attorneys refiled the lawsuit against Combs naming Jay-Z, he has come out with a very long statement saying that this is completely not true and that this is all about trying to get money from him. What do you say about that?
It was about protecting his brand, his legacy, and the trust he's built over the years. Jay-Z's silence was telling, but when he did respond, it wasn't with petty insults or the kind of drama 50 Cent is known for. Instead, Jay-Z leaned into his status as a businessman and showed that he doesn't need to engage in the petty games of celebrity feuds. He's been through too much in his career to let this distract him.
Media. A spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York declined to comment on whether the office is pursuing this case. So what happens next?
Well, who knows what's going to happen with that? I mean, we don't know if the feds are going to be looking into this. They may well be at this point. I think that there are people further looking into Diddy. I think there might be a superseding indictment coming and probably looking into the people that he's associated with himself. But this also may well be beyond the statute of limitations. So it really just depends. I mean, as it stands right now, I can't imagine that there's enough evidence to necessarily bring something, because somebody's accuser saying something happened 24 years ago without more evidence is probably not going to be enough. But then again, we don't know what evidence she has. So it really remains to be seen if this is actually going to be passed on to the criminal authorities or if they're working on it at this point.
All right, so jury deliberations in the Daniel Penny case are set to resume today after the judge dismissed Penny's second-degree manslaughter charge, which carried a 15-year prison sentence. A jury is now being asked to consider a charge of criminally negligent homicide, which carries a 4-year prison sentence. Tell us what criminally negligent homicide is, and should Daniel Penny be worried about being found guilty of it?
Well, criminally negligent homicide is that he did not act as a reasonable person should have under the circumstances. And this is just very troubling because I was looking at the verdict form, and the verdict form actually says for count 1, which is the manslaughter, if you find him not guilty, then you move on to count 2, which is the criminally negligent homicide. That didn't happen here. There was no finding of guilt of guilt or any acquittal. It was just they were deadlocked. They sent a note. They said we can't come to a conclusion. The judge made them go back and keep deliberating, and then treating it almost like an a la carte menu. The state decided to say, all right, well, we'll just dismiss that count. We'll proceed on the second count. Well, that's not what the jury verdict says. That's not how they were charged. It's very, very inappropriate what happened here. His attorneys were outraged. They have every right to be. This is unfortunate. Whether he should be worried or not, I'm a little bit concerned that there wasn't just an acquittal or not guilty. So there are obviously holdouts on the jury that believe that his conduct, at least for the manslaughter count, had risen to the level of recklessness, which would assume that it rises to the level of negligence. So I don't know. I mean, I think that there is a chance that he could be, but I also think it's equally, probably more so, that it's, again, a hung jury.
We will be watching it all. Lexi, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Carly.
Have a good day.
And here's the thing, Jay-Z is no stranger to controversy. He's been accused of everything from cheating rumors with Beyonce to rumors about shady business dealings.
About Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Mm-hmm. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out. Like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your
Who put that out?
This is on
50?
it says I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre a little bit. And then maybe I stay out of trouble.
Nah.
Jay-Z has always managed to maintain control of the narrative. He's learned to rise above the noise. So when 50 Cent came after him with these explosive claims, Jay-Z knew the best response was to continue doing what he does best. Focus on his empire and ignore the distractions.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Joining us now, Joey Jackson, senior legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning. Good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, here, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors, and if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to the evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago, but in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people.